Lesson number 85 is about equation of a line and graphing a line. And what we're asked to do here is to graph the line y equals x minus 2. Now if we want to graph this line, we're going to plot it on a coordinate plane. We must have a line that goes somewhere within this grid. So in order to graph a line, what we're always going to do is we're going to make a table of x values and a table of y values. Now in order to graph a line, we're going to need to pick a value for x and then solve for y. So a nice one to pick for x all the time is 0, because we can find out what y is by saying y is going to be equal to, well, we're going to substitute 0 for x, because that's what we picked. 0 minus 2, well, that's equal to negative 2. So we've got our first point. Our first point is when x is 0, y is negative 2. So x is 0, y is negative 2. Remember the x-axis always comes first. It's going back and forth horizontally. The y-axis comes second, going up and down vertically. Let's pick another point. Let's say x is equal to 2. Then we'd have y is equal to 2 minus 2, because we're substituting 2 in for x. And 2 minus 2, that's 0. So we're going to get a point of x is 2 and y is 0. So we can plot this one as well. When we graph an equation, we want to have 3 points so we can make a nice straight line through all of them. Let's follow our pattern and pick 4 for x. So then we get y is equal to 4 minus 2. Well, 4 minus 2, that's 2. So when x is 4, y is going to be 2. X is 4, y is going to be 2. Now we've got 3 points. We can make a nice straight line out of that. Make sure you use a ruler or the edge of your textbook, or you could use an iPod. Lots of different choices that you have to make a nice straight line. There we go, through all the middle of our points. Now we can go ahead and put arrowheads on it. And we've successfully graphed this line. Remember, build the x and y table, choose 3 values for x, and solve each one of them for y. Plot your coordinate pairs to solve. We've got one more example today. Let's graph this line. Y is equal to 2x plus 1. So we're going to pick an x, and we're going to solve for y. Picking x as 0 is always a good one, because it's going to be easy to solve, especially with multiplication. So y is going to be equal to 2 times 0, because that's our x value that we've chosen, plus 1. 2 times 0, that's 0, plus 1 is 1. So let's extend our table line. When x is 0, y is 1. So when x is 0, y is 1. Let's pick 1 this time for x. Y is equal to 2 times 1 plus 1. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 more, that's 3. So when x is 1, y is 3. It doesn't matter what x values you pick, but keeping them small is a good idea because you only have your coordinate plane that's so big. You wouldn't want to pick an x value like 10 million, because then you'd have to draw 10 million tick marks on your page, and that would just be ridiculous. So let's go ahead and pick x is equal to 2 for the next one. Y is going to be equal to 2 times 2 plus 1. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 more is 5. So when x is 2, y is 5. X is 2, y is going to be 5. So we've got our 3 points. We can go ahead and make a nice straight line through all those points. When we make that nice straight line, whoops, that's a horizontal line. We want a diagonal line. Make sure they're going through the middle of all of your points as closely as possible. There we go, that looks pretty good. We've got a nice straight line. Make sure you've used a straight edge for your straight line. We've got our problem complete. In order to graph, remember, make a table of x and y values, plot your coordinate pairs, make a nice straight line, heads of the arrows because it's a line and not a segment. Lesson practice will be on page 268. Make sure you've got your notes complete, and I'll see you during our next class.